Get cool stuff for what you were going to do anyway. Drink beer. With Buy Beer, Get Gear from Labatt, you can just snap a photo of your receipt and upload it to the website to rack up points for exclusive merch. Get points for every purchase, whether you're grabbing a pint on draft, a case for a party, or a tall boy at the stadium. Any size, any product, anywhere you buy Labatt. Buy beer, get gear. Sign up now at rewards.labattusa.com.
Stand back for your own safety.
Steve, what's up?
Congrats on the win.
Thanks, Steve. Where Paulie at?
Here we go.
I'm checking out. I will respond to you, but I'm done for the week. I'm done.
Steve is my favorite part of the show. How's that?
I like that. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Check for sound.
Pleasure to be on there talking with Paulie, man. He's a good dude.
I'm an idiot. I'll just shut up and let you talk. I was trying to help.
And shout out to Tupac.
3, 2, 1, and
This is Orange Nation.
Well, hello, Paulie and Steve.
With Stephen Fonte and Paulie Sibilia.
Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to have you with us alongside Paulie Sibilia. I'm Stephen Fonte. It's a Thursday edition of Orange Nation. Normally, we have Fran Brown on to start the show, but with it being a bye week, no Fran today. But we do have the head basketball coach joining us. Adrian Autry will join us at 1 o'clock. He'll join us at 1 o'clock on Thursdays throughout the entire college basketball season. Matt Park, voice of the Orange, at 1:30. Plus, we'll mix in your phone calls throughout at 315-437-7644. What's up, Paulie?
Not much, Steve. You want to tell the people how you slept last night?
Wasn't a good night. Woke up 9,000 times. So I'm a little tired today.
All right. Bad night's sleep. So don't get on Steve's bad side today. You won't like him when he's
I'm all right.
Cranky.
I'm all right. What's going on with you?
Not much, Steve. I'm seeing a little trend, and I didn't even see the trend. It was the trend was brought to my attention on the social media.
What's the trend, Paulie?
It's I think J.J. Starling is going to be the Trevor Cooney, the Judah Mintz, the
Scoop Jardine early in his career.
Yeah, Scoop Jardine of this year's team.
Joe Girard.
Yeah, the Joe Girard.
I feel like those guys, like Cooney, Girard, and Scoop, in my mind, were on a whole nother level when it came to that.
It's only 2 games into the season. Steve.
Judah, I think there were less people that were critical of Judah than maybe those other 3. And I think that JJ might be in that. He's in that tier with Judah, maybe. I don't think he's in that top tier with.
Give it time, bro.
Yeah. You're right. The season just started.
Yeah. The X factor in this is the last name Anthony is pushing JJ.
Yeah.
And Syracuse fans will have nothing but Anthony on their mind.
It's like the backup quarterback situation, right? Anytime, the starter is struggling and the backup comes in and has success, then it's, well, the backup must be better. The backup needs more time. The backup should be out there. And this isn't even, like, this is no fault of JJ's. He played 3 minutes so far this season.
Yeah.
I think this is more so about Cayenne than it is about JJ. And, I think people are assuming that they're going to get the JJ from last year. And not that the JJ from last year was bad, but the JJ from last year had to take a lot of shots just because he had to.
He was the only offense on that team.
Yeah.
Chris Bell was gone.
I looked it up.
Chopamore was irrelevant.
I looked it up before we came on the air. I went into KenPom, and J.J. Starling went on the floor last year, took 32% of SU's shots. So 1 out of every 3 times down the court, he was shooting the ball. That was 42nd in the country out of more than 2,300 players. They needed him to take that many shots, and that's going to hurt your efficiency, right? And we saw the same kind of thing with Judah, where Syracuse would get behind, and Judah felt like, all right, nobody else is going to do this. I'm going to put the team on my back and try to will us to a win. Now, sometimes, he had great games when he did that. Other times, he had an off night or he wasn't getting the calls or what have you, and he had incredibly inefficient games. And that, in part, I think, is what, why some of the fan base kind of turned on him. And I think, we saw a little bit of that out of JJ last year, is that he was forced just high volume and maybe not great shot selection at times. I think this year, the fact that he is on a better team and his role doesn't have to be such that he has to be Superman and try and rescue the team game in and game out. I do think that's going to help. I think we're going to see a better version of JJ this year. But there's no denying the fact that Kyan has played well in his absence.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see, like you said, you'll see a more efficient version of him, right?
Well, that makes it better.
Yeah.
I mean, your efficiency affects how well you play.
I know, but he's probably going to score less points and still be better.
Right, because it's his efficiency.
Yeah. But like he's not going to like be the second team all ACC because he was just scoring like crazy. I don't know that we realize last year's team could not create their own shots. Chris Bell couldn't create his own shot. Chapel Moore couldn't get to the basket. JJ was the only option. Lucas Taylor couldn't get to the basket. Nobody could take a dribble and shoot last year. It was either catch and shoot or JJ was going, scrambling with 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
Right. Yes, and there was a lot of that the year before with Judah. I mean, those are facts. I mean, and I know people got on Judah for his efficiency, and some people are getting on JJ for his efficiency, but I do think we're going to see a better version this year. And to your point, I don't know if he's going to score like he did last year. I think he still could put the ball in the basket, obviously, but I don't know that they need him to score on that same level as he needed to last year. His minutes may be down, his point production may be down, but we might see a better version. I think you said it well.
Yeah, and the other thing is this year they're also pushing the ball, because they can shoot the three, or at least they're confident they can. It's always it's a break. You look if you got that three, and if not, then you settle into your offense. And you've got Kings has gotten to the basket multiple times. He's I've seen him dribble a couple times and shoot. He just didn't see that last year. It just shows you how different his team is. Multiple. They're multiple. They can do multiple things. Last year's team could chew the gum, but could not walk, Steve.
Yeah, I know you're obviously saying that tongue in cheek, but yeah, it was a struggle last year, and we've talked about that the good defensive players weren't very good offensively, and vice versa. Interesting that Slew59 in our chat brings up a better version is more efficient defender and field goal percentage. Yes, on the offensive end, certainly a more efficient field goal percentage. JJ has talked about his defense, and he's talked about how he has worked very hard in the offseason to get to be a better defender, and I think that he has no choice but to be a better defender with the way that this team collectively is getting after it defensively, right? If you want to stay on the floor, that's non-negotiable, right? Is you got to get after it defensively. And I think so far through 2 games, and I know the competition, but there's already a dramatic difference from the way this team gets after it defensively and the way that we've seen the last, X number of years those teams get after it defensively, and obviously they were playing zone for a while until recently, but certainly the last 2 teams under Adrian Autry, this team is much better defensively, and I think JJ has worked very hard on that. He knows that that's going to be a key to this team getting to where they want to go, is they have to be better defensively, and I think he's taking great pride in trying to get better on that end of the floor. So we've only seen JJ for 3 minutes in regular season play so far. I think that we are going to see, when he returns, a better version of himself. And even if he is a better version of himself, if Kyan keeps playing like this, they're going to find ways to get him on the floor, whether it's at the 2, whether it's the 3, whether it's bringing the ball up on occasion, whatever the case may be. If Kyan keeps playing like this, he's going to get more minutes.
Yeah, Ellie Arch says last year the hosts were crediting imaginary wins if injured JJ was playing. Yeah, that's what we're trying to say. He was the only option they had. They probably win that. I could think of 2. They probably win that Notre Dame game on the road, and they probably beat Georgetown at home.
Listen.
It's not rocket ship size.
It is not. And you talk about beating a dead horse. Okay. Anybody who loses their 2 best players for a majority of the season, let's keep in mind. Okay, do we really have to go back to last year? They played 1 game together, Donnie and JJ, 1 game together after the end of November. Anybody who loses their 2 best players is going to struggle. So were they going to make the tournament last year? Probably not. Were they going to have more wins than they did if those guys stayed healthy, or if one of them stayed healthy? Yes, they would have.
Kevin in our chat brings up a great point for listeners that have been fans of Orange Nation for a long time. You enjoy herding horses. Thank you.
So somebody tuning in for the first time has no idea what that is. But that was
Steve used to play a game where you kill horses, an imaginary game.
You would collect horses as you drove to like long distances. You'd see horses. You'd count the horses. Say, I got those 10 horses. Those 10 horses are mine. If you passed a cemetery, you could bury anyone else's horses in the car. It was a game that my sister and I played as we drove long distances.
Mm-hmm.
So
and we'll find the bodies.
I don't want to be accused of like animal cruelty. It was an imaginary.
It's a
bury all your
weird
horses.
game.
It is a weird game. Looking back now, it's a weird game. At the time, it was like this helps pass the time.
I would have been in a therapist immediately. What are you doing with the horses, you weirdo? Let me ask you this question. I asked you last year. You know, JJ's defense was questionable last year. I thought Donnie's was questionable last year too.
Yeah.
But it was also the fact that you couldn't take a risk last year on defense. You had to kind of slouch off your guy. You couldn't get up in his shorts because as soon as you got beat,
you had no help.
Yeah, it was a clear path to the basket.
Yeah. Yeah, this team is different. It really is. And you got William Kyle back there. It's a great point you bring up, Paulie. And I think that, listen, the coaches understood that too, looking at the roster. They understand that, and that's why they changed the makeup of the roster.
It's not even just Kyle. It's, Donnie is swung over. The front line is helping out on defense, where Chris Belt was a 0 and Donnie was a 0 last year when he was in. And then you were just smaller when Donnie got hurt, where it was, So this team allows the coaching staff a lot more options of things to do.
No doubt about it. And they've got depth. They've got true depth on this team. Did they have, 8 guys that they could play last year? Yeah. Did they have 8 guys that they felt truly good about? No. And I think this year you do. I'm not even sure you had 5 starters last year that you felt great about. I think this year you've got 9 guys right now that you feel like when healthy, those 9 guys it's a good core group to go into each game with. And if somebody's not bringing it, you've got an answer, right? You can bring somebody else in and you can ride the hot hand. And, there weren't, and again, this is not a pass on the coaching staff because some of that's their fault, obviously. But if you're Adrian Autry the last 2 years, you're looking down the bench, not a lot of answers. This year, if something's not working on the court, you can look down the bench. You might have some answers.
Yeah, and Nathan George is a better defender than Carlos was. That's a whole different world. And remember, before JJ got hurt, the plan was, we talked to Red about it, JJ was moving to the point guard position.
Right.
And Donnie got hurt, and then it was just, it may have been a different team last year if you had, JJ at the point, Donnie at the
right. We saw Jaquan Carlos start to lose some minutes, and JJ was playing more point. And you're right, they were moving in that direction. And we'll never know. I don't even know why we're talking about last year, other than the fact that it came up in a comment. I mean, we all know what happened last year, and it's unfortunate, but this team is better, and, you're right. Nathan George makes a big difference. I think William Kyle makes a big difference, and just having talent across the board makes a big difference with this team.
Yeah. You've got Kyan Anthony coming off the bench where you had, Kyle Cuff.
And think about that, too, because when those 2 guys were being recruited, I think most looked at Sadiq and Kyan as like, they're going to come in, they're going to be starters. But, with the transfer portal, you don't necessarily need that, and they don't need that with this team, which is a good sign.
And what else is a good sign? I think those 2 knew that. They want to win, and they want to, they want to build Syracuse back. Like, just think of the difference. Nate Kings comes out. Chris Bell comes out. Chris Bell comes out last year. Petar Marstorovich is going, and now you've got Sadiq White.
Right. They had to keep Chris Bell on the floor last year, even when he wasn't making shots, to be a threat, right? And now that's not necessarily the case. You can put somebody out there who can actually make shots.
Kyle Cuff, a hardworking, seemingly good dude catching strays. Yeah, he's coming off the bench at Wagner.
Mercer,
whatever the hell it is. Everything's always Wagner with me. Mercer. Yeah. It's not a shot at him. It just shows you the level of talent they have this year compared to last year.
Yeah. All right. That is our opening drive. It's brought to you by Burdick BMW of Cicero. We've got Adrian Autry coming up at 1 o'clock today. Voice of the Orange, Matt Park at 1:30. But phone lines open all of hour number 1, 315-437-7644. We'll take our first time out. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
And Burdick Ford are proud supporters of game day radio coverage of Syracuse football. We are the pulse of the Orange. ESPN Radio 97.7 and 100.1.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke.
We're looking up Pete Armastorovich's stats.
Yeah, I think he had 7 points last night. Let me just double check. 6 points in 28 minutes. He starts.
Damn, 28 minutes.
He starts for them, Long Beach State. He had 6.7 boards, 4 steals.
Yes, Q66.
Good for him. What?
He has no Fran this week. Carlos is probably working at the new IKEA. I don't know. He's a senior, so he graduated.
Back in July, he signed with a pro team in Finland.
That's funny because he can't finish. Whose name are we? Well, I don't get this whole. Whose name are we speaking? Are we still hung up on something? I want to win. I don't care about their height. Short kings don't belong on the basketball court. Unless you're Muggsy Bogues.
He belonged on the court? Spud Webb?
Spud Webb. Who was Melo's point guard the first couple of years? He worked at Sportscaster U, too.
Chauncey Billups?
No.
Who'd you say?
Point guard, played with Melo in Denver. Short, worked at Sportscaster U. Earl Boykins, correct.
Wasn't Billups with him?
He's not short.
Oh.
I said short. Earl Boykins.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's really short.
Yes, that's right.
Chauncey's probably like 6 foot, isn't he?
Yeah, I didn't say Chauncey. I'm talking short kings. Why is everybody yelling at me? Spud Webb, correct. Thank you for getting the game we're playing. Who is the short point guard that played with Melo? Chauncey Billups. No, the short one.
Well, for an NBA guard being 6'2" or whatever Chauncey Billups is, that's the short point guard.
Not when Earl Boykins is.
That's true. You're right. Earl Boykins is shorter. You're right. And I knew you weren't talking about Iverson because Iverson's your guy. So
he didn't play with Melo in Denver. Get our shit together.
But he's short. He's below 6.
That's not what I said.
I know. We were naming short guards. I knew Iverson wasn't on your mind.
I can't do this thing. Magic Johnson wasn't short. Right? Am I right?
He was not, no. He could guard any position. Play any position.
Did Iverson play with Melo?
I think he did.
I thought Melo was on the Knicks when he was... Oh, cool. He did play.
Yeah, they played together for a few years. I thought so.
Oh, I should ask Melo what an honor it was for him to play with him. The best player ever. Today's artist, Slick Rick. He's playing the Westcott, Steve.
I heard December 12th. We're trying to get him on the show.
Opportunity for me to see him for a third time. This is Let's Get Crazy. He's not an easy artist of the day. A lot of his songs are.
Once he starts, he starts rapping, we should probably kill the.
No, I got all the good ones.
Okay.
But a lot of his songs are a little, not safe for work, as the kids would say.
Yes, that is true. All right, let's go to the phone lines. We got Scooter in Jamesville kicking us off on the show today. What's up, Scooter?
First, Paulie, powerful last night, Sunny 102. I mean, started early, too. You kept it all the way through to 5 o'clock. Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent.
I'm good at my job.
Yeah, it is. I just wish maybe you can fit more rotation, Wild Cherry, and bring back Matchbox at 3 a.m. But
we play Matchbox. We played that at 3 a.m. and Unwell. Thank you.
Okay, it's good because it's good. It was great last night. So, Steve, if you can't sleep, I would tune on Sunny 102.
Okay, good advice.
Like that. But I had to, before I get to the basketball thing. So you played a game where you killed horses, and buried them in cemeteries.
Okay, so yes, just real quick, this was the game for those who don't know. We would drive long distance. We went to Buffalo a lot because my dad's from Buffalo. We would go visit my grandparents. So on the 2.5 hour ride to Buffalo, we would play a game where if we passed, like a farm on the side of the road, like when we're on the thruway, and you see like all these horses, you would count the horses. You'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 21 horses or whatever, and we would keep track of how many horses we had. We would add up the horses, but the thing was that if you passed a cemetery, whoever saw it first could say, "Cemetery, bury all your horses," and you had to like pound your fist. And then that person, everybody else in the car went back to 0, and you kept your horses. And then whoever had the most horses by the end of the trip won the game. So that was the game.
Well, I would turn on America, the horse, ride a horse without no name in the desert. That might go along with your dead horses right there. But
Peter is listening. Someone in the chat said.
But anyway, I will say this though, after seeing all these other teams play, and that's the key thing is what's out there. And I'm telling you, Syracuse isn't the only one that's got to replace 5 or 6 starters. I just watched Gonzaga play Oklahoma, and I think they made the tournament last year, Oklahoma, and they had to replace basically all 5 starters. So, I mean, I think Syracuse got a great upside when I see other teams play because they had to take a step backwards, too, as far as getting players and stuff. So I think it's a great opportunity. And, Paulie, I think I can name about 60 teams that are going to be on the bubble. I don't see a real strong team out there that I'll be scared of right now. It's just the way it is when people are just moving around and there's no continuity, and it takes a long time that teams like Michigan right now, I think, we can watch teams like that. But Syracuse, I think, is going to be right in there to the hunt. I mean, I just don't have a problem with Syracuse this year compared to last year. I think there's a lot of upside this year compared to last year.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Scooter. Appreciate you checking in, as always. L.A. Orange brings up an interesting question in the chat. He said, did you just look up where the cemeteries were? So, yes, we passed 3 cemeteries from where we live to get to my grandparents' house in Buffalo. And, of course, we knew when they were coming up. So we would try to distract each other so that we could be the ones that said it first. Cemetery. But you had to wait until it was in eyesight, until you could see it. And then you could say, cemetery, bury all your horses. So there was definitely strategy involved in this game.
I would have thrown you out of my car.
And I think my parents were just happy that we were, like, being quiet and not, like, fighting with each other, although that may have led to a fight here or there. But
do you ever? He also asked, do you ever reflect? Instinctively just yell cemetery.
I'll be honest with you, I don't say it out loud, but sometimes when I pass a cemetery, it brings me back to that game. Yes.
What's this game called?
I don't know that it had a name. It was just, we just did it.
Murder?
There was no, I don't think there was a name. It was just, we just did it when we drove from Syracuse to Buffalo every time. And then it just became a thing like in our childhood. So you knew where
the horses were and you knew where the cemeteries were.
Yeah.
Did you ever ask your parents to mix it up for you? Like, hey, why don't we take a different route?
Sometimes they did. There's different ways to get to my grandparents' house once you get off the thruway. But the thruway, there's no cemeteries on the thruway, obviously. So you kind of knew where the horses were. The cemeteries, if you went a different way, we'd have to keep our eyes peeled. Yeah. There was definitely strategy involved, though.
Okay. We used to just play punch bug and which you had never heard of, right? This has come up before.
No.
You never heard of Punch Bug. That
No.
is so bizarre to me.
The other game we played is we would try to collect as many license plates as we could from different states.
Yes, that's
everybody
that's
probably
a
does
normal
that.
thing.
Yes, right. Yeah, so we would try to do that.
It all starts to fall into place about you now with that story. Yeah, so we found one thing that Steve did that normal kids did was collect state license plates, but never got decked because a punch bug went by him.
No.
That was like you could just be minding your business, driving along. Oh, this is a beautiful scenic route. And your brother just belts you in the arm as hard as he can because a punch bug went by. You know where you won't get punched when you're in your car, Steve? Well, you might get punched in the face with happiness.
Lights on the Lake.
Yes. Very good.
I knew where you were going with that.
Yes. Register now for the Chick-fil-A of Clay Lights on the Lake 5K walk. It's Saturday, November 26th. You want to get out and walk? You want to go walk with me?
I would like that.
There's also the 5K orthopedic run by Upstate Orthopedics, both at 6 a.m. That'd be a cold walk and run. I would do that because it's for good causes, Steve. Am I making any sense right now?
Some.
So the actual Lights on the Lake starts November 17th. It's a 2-mile drive through. It's a 2-mile drive.
Definitely not 2 hours.
It's a 2-mile drive through lights display on Onondaga Lake. It's CNY's #1 holiday tradition. November 17th, 5 to 10, Monday through Sunday. LightsOnTheLake.com to purchase your advance sale tickets. Get $5 off by using the code LOL Santa for limited time. And speaking of Sunday 102, you put Santa 102 on while you're driving through, and it's your soundtrack to joy.
Beginning when? When do you guys switch over? The soundtrack? When do you switch over to Christmas music?
Overall, fully, December 1st. But during Lights on the Lake starts on the 17th.
During those hours, yes. Okay.
There will be no horse killing.
Good. No cemeteries at Lights on the Lake.
Yeah. Imagine if you did it during that, Steve. You'd be a horrible person. Elf, kill it.
There was a cemetery at Spooktacular Stroll.
Do you ever just switch it up when there were no horses or just pedestrians or dogs?
We would get to it if we got bored. We would do any animal. So then it would be like, I've got 5 horses, 2 cats. I remember one time we were on our way to Old Forge and we saw an emu.
Damn, what'd the emu do?
So that was legendary. So see, it was good times. It was fun.
You could go through dead reindeer.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, what happened? What happened to Dancer this year? Oh, the Infantis drove by in Lights on the Lake.
All right, let's take a timeout. 315-437-7644. We've got Tim coming in next with the match game. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
I couldn't crack the joke on the air. I was going to say the Infantis just homeless people or collecting homeless people and dropping them off in cemeteries. 1 o'clock, key takes. Rocks, graveyards, dead horses, mono. Steve, you had to live the childhood dream. I had my friends puking wild turkey. Everybody's got a hitch in the shot. You're all the shot doctors. You all should have hosted Boeheim on basketball with them. You all are shot experts. Dominic, similar to that, whenever I drive by horse or cows, and even when I'm alone, I say hello, ladies. I don't know where I got that from, but every time I drive by cows, I say hello, ladies. I'm wholesome. I don't murder.
Alphabet guy, I never really got into wrestling all that much. My son loved John Cena for a while. You know, I know he's kind of played out now, but I like The Rock, I guess. I didn't really watch wrestling very much. My son did. But I mean, that was years ago now. He's 19 now. I take it that means he's retiring? How old is he? John Cena. 48. He's 48? Man. He does not look 48. Yeah, Alphabet guys, this is a big week. A lot of state titles being decided, sectional titles for football.
You know, it's a Wednesday on a week when there's nothing going on. I'm going to ask people to call in and tell us what they did in their long car rides. I was the youngest, so I always got stuck on the hump. Being on the hump was the worst.
Yeah, that's true.
Your knees are up in your chin. I was the hump kid. The humpback.
The other thing we used to do, you've got me reminiscing now. The other thing we used to do is we would try to memorize. Back in the day when you got on the thruway, they'd give you the ticket of all the exits and how much it cost, and we would try to memorize the exit number, the exit name, and the cost. And then we would try to get through we would try to do it across the state.
Steve, that's homework. Why are you doing homework in the car? You're like,
nowadays, kids are just on their phones in the back seat.
Damn kids.
Yeah.
Steve, I'll save it for the year, but Tim and I went on a long road trip and we played.
Oh, yeah. We were kind of on our phone.
What the hell is that?
Immaculate Grid.
Yeah, Immaculate Grid. Yeah. Like all day.
The entire time.
Artist of the Day, Slick Rick, and this is when he was with Dougie Fresh, and this is a banger, Steve. The Show.
Yes. Is Tim Leonard familiar with this tune?
No. But I'm going to be, I guess, on
December
Friday,
12th.
December 12th.
Are we all going? Are we making a family trip?
So we got to talk about it. It's a Friday night, which means we've got Friday night fever. So I've got to look into that because that's generally frowned upon for me to take Friday nights off.
I got Friday night fever.
It's probably doubtful I'm free too. Let's see. I don't know. I'd have to look at the basketball schedule.
Looks like I'm going to a concert by myself again.
Here's the difference. Tim and I actually want to go, and we wish we could go. You would just be like, no, I don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah, that's the honest way to handle it.
I do want to go.
Yeah,
I do want to go.
It's the honest way.
I have responsibilities.
I think I'm free.
All
I think
right.
I'm good.
Tim and I
See, there you go. Tim and
it'll be like
Kid FaceTime.
It'll be like when I took Jordan to Belle Biv DeVoe.
That's right.
And he'll be like, "What is this song? Why are they singing this song the whole time?" Tim, quick question for you. You ever play games on long road trips when you were younger?
When I was younger, of course, yes. Trying to think. I mean, I would do the drive from North Carolina to Cape Cod, where my grandparents live. That was 14 hours. And it would start out playing games, and then I'm one of 4 siblings, so it would just lead to us fighting in the back seat usually. Which are good memories and also like the worst kind of family memories too. Those long road trips bring out the worst in the family, I'd say. But now we play Immaculate Grid, Paulie, whenever we go on the road.
Yes, Steve, when Tim and I take long trips, we play Immaculate Grid, and we stink at it.
We do. I think you're better than me because you're able to pull from like the 70s, 80s,
Because you're
90s.
old, Paul.
Yeah.
That's what he was going with.
Right. I struggle. I'm not very good at sports, quizzes, games. I'm not as good as I should be, I feel like, for the job I'm in.
You guys ever do the New York Times Connections?
Like a couple times.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that do it and enjoy
My daughter
it.
does it every day. And yesterday she got a perfect score, and so she challenged me on the spot while I was on the phone with her, and so I did it, and I was proud that I got a perfect score.
Oh,
too.
nice.
So
Runs in the family.
I matched her perfect score.
Humble brag.
No, it's a fun game. I didn't know if you've ever played it before.
315-437-7644. If you'd like to call in, it's a bye week, not a basketball game to Saturday. If you want to call in and tell us what you did in your long car rides besides beat each other, that was I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you, and you put the finger right there. That was a good one. Any murdering happening in your games?
When I got older, I realized the best method in the long car rides was to take one of those sleeping pills and just knock out in the back seat for much of the day.
It's like P.A. Baracus from the A-Team.
He's roofying himself for car rides. I'm surprised you didn't do that when you have to ride with me. Oh, God, Paulie's not going to shut up.
Really
you wake up,
tired
you're
for
like,
some
wow,
reason,
we're already
Paul.
there.
Yeah, listening to a crime podcast. All right.
That's what I do now. I listen to Dateline.
Time for the match game.
Everybody loves it.
Paulie's not going to be here tomorrow, so we've got to do it now. Match game is very tight. Me and Paulie are tied for first, 34 matches on the year. Steve at 33, one behind us. I want to say, I don't know if I should bring this up now. I don't want to drag this segment on too long, but I was thinking about proposing a rule change of if you're closest to, you get 1 point. If you truly match, you get 2 points.
Is that better? If you match, you get the point. Everything else is 0. But that's
I know that's how you're used to it, but then it's tough to actually.
The score right now would be like 3-2.
That's right. Yeah, I think this makes it better because then I'm asking questions that are legitimate.
Let's go to DJ. DJ, what'd you do in the car?
Well, as kids, we used to play the license plate game, basically a long trip to find out how many states you could actually find.
Yeah. You ever murder anything while you were driving? Like Steve?
Nope.
No? Okay, good.
Nope. Not at all.
Okay, all right, DJ, thank you.
I played that as well. So the DJ
When you were
game.
tired of murdering horses?
Sometimes we did them simultaneously.
Oh.
License plate game and the murdering horses
Unlike
game.
Syracuse's
It
basketball.
wasn't murdering horses. We were burying them. We were collecting them, actually.
You could collect horses and do license plates at the same time. Thank you.
All right, first question. How many points for Kai and Anthony against Drexel? I'll go 12 points.
I'll go 10.
I'll go 14.
Well, I think that's like the opposite of what we did last week. How many turnovers for Kyan? He's the only player on the team that has not turned the basketball over once that has played.
I've been dead wrong about this because after watching him in the preseason, I thought he was going to be a liability with a basketball. I think I'll have 2 turnovers.
2 for me as well.
I'm going to go 1.
William Kyle, 13 rebounds in the last game. He's averaging 9 through the first 2 games of the season. How many rebounds against Drexel? Good rebounding team. Sneaky good rebounding team.
I was just going to say that. I'm going to go. I was going to go 8. I'm going to go below his average. Yes.
I'll go 9 then, just to try and beat you guys. What about blocked shots? He had 6 blocks in the last game. He was only the 5th Syracuse basketball player to have a game where he reached 6 blocks, 13 rebounds in the same game. Really should have had 7 blocks. There was a goaltend that was called on him that was probably the wrong call. How many blocks for William Kyle?
3.
2.
I guess I'll go 2 as well. How many assists for Nathan George?
7.
6.
I was thinking 6 too, Steve. Quickly, are you guys worried about Nathan George's turnovers so far? He did have 5 in the last game.
I think that's part of the deal.
Yeah.
He's like Brett Favre.
He's got the ball in his hands a lot. They play faster, so there's going to be more possessions. And it was a little helter-skelter because they got up by so much. So I think in a tight, if he's doing that in a tight game, then yes. Right now, I think it's okay.
Okay. I agree with you. What about free throw percentage? That's another concern right now for Syracuse. In this game against Drexel, what is your estimation on what Syracuse will shoot free throw percentage-wise?
I'll say 70%.
64 came to mind for me.
68 came to me.
Very specific. Okay.
Who was very specific?
Both of you.
68. Oh, isn't that what you? Any number would be very specific.
Well, I thought
Well,
you
you went
normally
for a
go by
round.
if ends in a 5 or a 0. That's not as specific. That's more of like a. It's going to be about
exactly
70.
as specific.
Yeah.
As any other number.
You know what I mean?
If you're trying to match.
If you're
it.
guessing,
Thank
okay,
you.
fine.
Thank you.
Another concern with the team right now that maybe is kind of...
hang on. The people in the chat, 55, 55, 65, 65.
Yeah,
like,
they're all round
normally,
numbers.
you would do a 5 or a 0. That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
69.
Well, yes.
You skipped
Should have
that
said
one,
6,
Steve.
7. The
Why-
crowd.
6, 7, yeah, right,
crazy.
with the hand gesture.
Then some kid in the backseat of the car driving around
did
right
you
now
not-
would have been...
Why did you not say 69, Steve?
Tim, what else you got?
Do you think there's any kid right now in the backseat of the car while his dad's driving that's like, haha, 6, 7.
Yeah,
They
gotcha.
said it.
Probably.
Okay.
Although they should be in school, but
I
maybe.
still don't get it.
True. I don't think anyone
You're not
gets
supposed
it.
to
They're
get
going to shoot 420 from the line.
Yeah, they definitely should be in school. So it's probably not happening. All right. Nate Kings, how many threes in this game for him? I think he's made, what, 1 all year?
He's going to get 2. He's going to get hot.
I'm going to give him 4.
Whoa. Okay. I was
right.
thinking 2 as well. Whoa. 4 for Paulie. That's an outlier.
It's breaking out. He's going to break out. Tonight's his night, or Saturday's his night.
Here's a stat I'm interested in this game. Drexel turnovers, because, of course, Syracuse has done a good job turning over the opposition so far. This will be a little bit of a different level of competition. How many Drexel turnovers?
Good. It's a well-coached team, Paulie. I'm going to say 13.
I was thinking 11.
It's a very specific number, Steve. I'll go 11. Did you say 11?
Yes.
I'm trying to run the clock out with Tim. I'm going to get ahead of him a little bit, and I just keep picking the same things.
Yeah, I'm watching. Steve is answering very quickly. He's not really playing the game of
No,
trying
I'm
to
not,
say,
because
yeah, you're
I
being
don't.
good.
I don't want to be influenced by you guys. I just want to tell you what I think.
I like it. Very mature of you.
Alphabet guy in that says, how many horses will Steve kill on the way home tonight?
It's actually a good one.
I mean,
Should've
I
put
don't
that
get
in
out
there.
till midnight. I don't know how many horses are out at midnight. So
Sometimes you'll see a deer.
that's true. That is true.
Where are the horses going? The club?
Back in the barn.
I don't know. I just thought they had carte blanche to either go inside or hang out.
All right. Another one of the interesting things in this game, Drexel, very good three-point shooting team early on in the season. They are averaging 10 makes per game. That's 66 in the country. Syracuse is actually the number 1 three-point defense in the nation
Yeah,
through 2
we're
games.
number 1.
Number 1. How many threes for Drexel? I'm going to go with 7.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
I'll give him 10.
Always going higher than us. 10.
they give up 10 threes. I don't know. That's not
Could
great.
be some angry callers.
You'll be
Well-
all right. They gave up 15 and
Yeah. All right.
Colgate
they
did.
scored
yeah.
15 and hit
Well,
15.
I know they did, but that's this Syracuse defense we think is pretty good.
Yeah.
All right.
You might get hit some in junk time. You never know.
Okay.
What about
Card Sharks.
offensive rebounds for Drexel? This is maybe their best stat. 17 offensive rebounds per game for
Wow,
them.
that's a
21st
lot.
in the country.
Yeah, but look at who they've played. That shouldn't happen in this one, I
Yeah.
don't think.
But Syracuse has been a little vulnerable to offense. I mean, pace, got some
that's
low
true.
boards.
That is true. It's a good point, Tim.
I'll give him 10.
I was going to give him 10. Round number.
I'm going to go higher. I'm going to go 12.
Whoa, that's very specific.
Here's a fun one. What time will the game tip off? Your closest approximation. It's scheduled for 3:30.
Oh, this is fun.
There's a game before between LaSalle and Penn State that's starting at 1 p.m. in the same venue.
Was it a half hour between games, right?
Yeah, you got to warm
my
up.
God, this is a nightmare. I've been on the receiving end
Yeah.
of
This is one that
overtimes.
only the broadcasters, the guys
Care
calling the
about?
game, care about.
Yeah.
How about this? In true Syracuse fashion, I'll say 44. I'll say
Ooh.
344.
I'll go
Very specific. That is. I'll go 350.
347. I'll middle you guys on that one.
I like that. I get everything below 344.
the
If that
four-
first game's
well,
quick,
no,
then I'm in
no.
good shape.
The
Yeah,
rare,
I guess you're right. Yeah, you do get
the
everything
rare,
below.
the rare 47 tip. I like it.
What about our math question of the week? We've always got to have one.
I have a pen right here.
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Allow me.
Add up how many points for Syracuse men's basketball against Drexel.
Okay.
Plus women's basketball against Wagner, Sunday, 2 p.m. You can catch the game here on ESPN Radio Syracuse. Shameless plug. And then the Bills, how many points will they have against the Bucks? 1 p.m. Sunday. I'll say about 80 for the men.
I got 164 total.
Oof.
I'm going to say like 182.
All right, I came up with 185. I went 79 for the men, 75 for the women, 31 for the Bills.
I gave Bills 14. Their offense stinks.
Yeah, Bucks defense isn't great. I think
Neither is Miami's.
That's true.
That's a good point. Got me there.
They turned it over 4 times, so that if they do that again, then you're going to be right.
You can stop James Cook. I think you pretty much are stopping the Bills this year.
That's what it feels like at the moment, yeah.
Final question. Will Syracuse cover the projected KenPom spread of 15 points right now? I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say yes.
I think it'll be a backdoor cover for Drexel. Well, actually, that doesn't really happen anymore because they want to win by as many points as possible. I'll say they cover. I'm changing my mind.
Man.
It's an opportunity to catch up on us, Steve.
It is.
Or to match us and get the first wow.
They're covering.
Wow.
There we go.
Perfect way to end the match game.
All right. We'll hit a timeout here. We've got, we'll check in on the market, and then we've got Adrian Autry coming up at 1 o'clock. Back after this on ESPN Radio.
Should I ask Coach Autry if he wants to go to see Slick Rick with me? Because you guys won't?
I think he'll be busy that night. They play Hofstra the next day.
Nah, get the team to bed. Come hang out. I mean, it's got to be right in his wheelhouse, right? Slick Rick.
Yeah, he's a couple years older than a couple years older than me. He's like your age. He's 4 years older than me. So yeah, he's 53.
He's actually like 5.
What? Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, how do I know he's 4 years older than me? Because he was born on Leap Day, the previous Leap Day. I was due on Leap Day.
Oh, that would have screwed up your whole half birthday. You'd have to wait 2 years for your half birthday.
That's true. He was born on Leap Day 1972. I was due on Leap Day 1976.
So he's really like 13 years old or something, right? Whatever.
Man, Coach Autry's making a lot more money than I am.
Every 4. So
his half birthday would have been every 2 years.
He's 13, yeah, a little bit over 13 years old.
I keep seeing Tomlin's name coming up in the SEC jobs, but he's not leaving Pittsburgh. I could see him translating to college, though.
I mean, if you're Belichick and you still want to coach, don't you jump at that?
Haha, you're older than me, Matt from Auburn. By 4 months. Looks like Tomlin's linked to the Giants job also. I don't see Tomlin getting an extension anywhere. Welcome back to Orange Nation. Artist of the day is Slick Rick. A teenage love. Eve, I didn't mean to say it at the same time you did, but a teenage love. Oh, the sad days of teenage love. No girls even talked to me when I was a teenager, so I didn't have to worry about it.
Let's make the awkward transition to checking on the market now, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's bring on Mike from Lee Baldwin and Company. Mike, how you doing today? How's the market doing?
Not so great, guys. A lot of red across the board. All three major averages are down, led by the NASDAQ down almost 2% or 457 points. So it's been a real rough week for the NASDAQ. Actually, a rough couple weeks. The Dow's been hanging in there a little better, but not so good across the board today. We do have a couple diamonds. We're going to go with Nike today. Nike was upgraded by Wells Fargo with a $75 target. It's currently trading in the mid-60s. It's been an underperformer the last couple of years, but they think things are going to turn around, especially with the World Cup next year. So hopefully some good things ahead for Nike. And our dog, we're going to go two-time with Disney. I know Lee mentioned it yesterday, but they actually came out with their earnings last night, and the stock's trading down $10. So big hit for Disney, and overall a pretty good hit for the market. Hopefully things will get a little better into the afternoon, but not looking like it so far. So there you have it, guys.
All right, hopefully brighter days are ahead. Mike, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thanks. Have a great day.
All right, you as well. All the diamonds, none of the dogs. Be sure to visit LeeBaldwin.com.
I don't know how what is causing Disney to be down, but man, oh man, do they charge a pretty penny for everything at their amusement parks. Holy cow.
Yeah, for sure.
I've gone twice in like the past 5 years, and I've spent well over $2,000 on 2 days just being there.
Yeah, it's expensive. Did you see that? Are you a Toy Story fan? The movies?
No, I don't have children.
Okay,
so
that's true. I didn't know if you just
weird
watched
if I was just like watching
the first
kids movies.
Couple though. I mean, when was the first one? Anyway, Toy Story 5 is coming out. I saw the trailer for the first time. The new Toy Story is coming out next year. The first one was released in '95, so I figured you probably have come across it at some point.
Yeah, I've come across it, but it's also I was also
old.
In my late 20s. Yeah, so
okay, that's
it'd be
fair.
weird if I was hanging out at the theater for Toy Story.
That's fair. Okay, I didn't ask if you saw them in the theater. I said, do you like the Toy Story movies?
I did see the Frozen movie. Not at the theater, though, but it was a free option on my cable service for a movie, so I watched that. It was entertaining.
I like the animated movies.
I didn't want to build a snowman ever. I hate the snow. But yeah, I think I don't mind the animation, but I liked the in action kids movies. Like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and
right.
Okay, those type of movies. Let's take a time out. When we come back, the first visit with Coach Autry will happen. Steve,
yes, it will. I didn't know you grabbed your.
I did.
read sheet.
I realized I got a couple minutes here. So
we were a little early. I was like, why is he going to break?
Yeah. There's things happening all over the place. I have two.
Can I go
the
back?
Wine and Chocolate
Festival. Okay, you're ready. Okay,
is happening.
I was going to go back to something from yesterday, but go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
I was just going to bring up to our audience. I did tell everyone about the Oscar the Grouch thing yesterday, that he was orange, not green, and then no one knew that fact except for one person at Greg at Channel 9, and he came back to me with, "Do you know Cookie Monster's first name?" I had no idea.
I did know it.
You knew it. I did not know it.
Sid.
Yep. Sid or Sydney. I guess his actual name is Sydney. They call him Sid.
I didn't know the Sydney part.
I had no
Sid.
clue. How did you know that?
Yeah, I told you I worked at WCNY, so
it was just a fact.
I knew some. Yeah. They also have his puppet at. I don't know why this sticks out at the Smithsonian, and it says Sid, the Cookie Monster. Sydney.
I had no idea. Anyway, carry on.
I don't know if there'll be cookies there, but the Wine and Chocolate Festival is going on Saturday, November 29th. 2 sessions, 1 to 4 and 5 to 8 at the Horticulture Building at the New York State Fairgrounds. Sip your way through samples from New York State's wineries, distilleries, plus holiday shopping from local vendors, and that is happening on Local Shop Saturday. Limited tickets available at wineandchocolatefestivals.com. HorticultureHub.com.
Only took you 5 years, but you are nailing horticulture.
I'm growing.
Yes.
I'm growing into my position. See, you don't build a program in a year. You gotta let a man mature into his position.
Need more reps. You just needed some time. Needed some reps.
We need events to be at the horticulture building as many times as possible. So I just keep
Look at
saying
you.
it.
You're saying it for fun now.
Precipitation.
There you go. Let's hit a timeout. Adrian Autry joins us next on ESPN Radio.
Yeah, I was saying that Greg's a nerd, but I can't call him a nerd because I knew too.
Greg has kids. Greg has 2 young kids.
So you've had
I know,
3
you're
kids
right.
that you didn't
You're
know?
Greg does work from home half the time, so that could be part of it too.
Is he on now?
Is this going to be VMix?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he on? I'll send you his number. Mm-hmm.
I got it. Thank you. Yep.
We didn't want you there anyway, Spatch and Louise. Famous Sids.
Bream.
Sid Vicious. Did I send that? Yes.
My daughter's best friend from college is named Sid.
Nee Sweeney. Isn't there a wrestler, Sid something? Sid Fernandez, good one. Sid and Marty Croft, good one.
Oh, man.
Psycho Sid.
No one in the ACC's lost a game yet except for
BC.
Well, Florida State and Wake both lost those games that we talked about.
So nobody has lost. Has now turned into 3.
Well, I was going to say BC. Okay. Nobody's lost a game outside of the top 20 except for BC. Wake and Florida State both lost.
Don't come at me with that's a very specific
top
number
10.
and then drop shit like that.
Florida State and Wake both lost to top 10 teams. Nobody else has lost outside of those 3.
Sit down. Sit down. That's funny. Sid Caesar, good one. Sydney, Australia.
All right, so you're going to give me a thumbs up?
I'll do what I have to do, Steve. Let me check my emails, too, to see if I got a response. Thank you. He's good. He'll be on the call. There we go.
He's on right now?
No, he'll be on. That was from his secretary. Steve had a horse named Sid, but he killed it.
I didn't kill it. I buried it. Okay.
That's even worse. Buried alive. That's a mafia stuff. You guys are putting the fine. Drive him out to Utica and bury him.
We don't have him yet, right? We don't have him yet.
I don't know.
I'll wait for you to give me the thumbs up.
All right.
Your Highness. They await you.
Welcome back to Orange Nation. Artist of the Day, Slick Rick. Mona Lisa. I think I got to pot this one down.
Probably smart.
This one gets a little rough. Rough around the edges. It's said clean, but that's a good song too. Slick Rick.
All right, we're driving into our second hour. It's brought to you by Burdick BMW of Cicero, and we're just waiting to be joined by the head coach of the Orange, Adrian Autry. Big couple of weeks coming up here for the Orange. Obviously off to a great start. They've got Drexel in Philly, this neutral site game that's not so neutral. The arena is about 5 miles from the Drexel campus. Then they got Monmouth at home to get ready for that trip out to Vegas. And we all know the deal, right? They play Houston the Monday of Thanksgiving. They play Kansas the next night. And then an opponent to be determined before heading home to take on Tennessee. It's a big stretch here coming up these next couple of weeks.
Houston or Vegas slip into your mind at all right now, right?
No, you got to just take care of business one at a time. It's coach speak, but it's true. And you just got to handle what's in front of you, and what's in front of them right now is a matchup with Drexel that again showed on Tuesday night that they can be dangerous, making as many threes as they did. Put a scare into Colgate after being down 19, and then fought back in that game, made it close, and then Colgate was able to hang on down the stretch.
Yeah, you got to win these games. I don't think that's saying anything weird or speaking out of school. You got to go out and get a neutral site win that helps your net ranking. And, and I want to talk to Coach about how net rankings played into their scheduling and how they're playing this year.
Yeah, and we should point out, I mentioned this to you during the break, and you kind of made fun of me, but there's so many teams in the ACC. The only 3 teams who have losses in the ACC right now are Florida State, Wake Forest, and BC. Florida State and Wake Forest both lost to top 10 opponents. Barely, and had them both on the ropes. And then, Boston College has not looked good here in the early going. They're 1-2. They just lost to Central Connecticut State. But you put BC aside, everybody else is going out and doing what Syracuse has done to this point. So, yes, it's been impressive, but it's a long season. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And, this is a team that they just got to keep winning, keep stacking wins, take care of business here in these last 2 before they head out to Vegas. And then you roll the dice when you get out there and you use it as a measuring stick and see how you stack up against a Houston or a Kansas or Tennessee when they come home for that ACC-SEC challenge. And, that Tennessee game is kind of doubly important. It's important, like, individually for Syracuse and selfishly for Syracuse, but it's also important big picture, right, for the ACC to perform well in this ACC-SEC challenge.
And you've got to outperform a conference that's performing better than it has in the past couple of years.
Yeah, so. And that's what, we talked about that on the show yesterday, that you hope that you've got 6 or 7 bids in this league to give, teams like Syracuse a little wiggle room. I was asking you before we went on, I went on KenPom just out of curiosity to see, which games are considered the most difficult on SU's schedule. As you would expect, at Duke is considered the most difficult game on the schedule. But second was a little bit surprising. I guess not surprising when you watch them play. I told you I watched Louisville, Kentucky the other night. Louisville, from KenPom's metrics, is considered the second toughest game. That Louisville game away,
probably True Road is probably what played the most.
And they're really good. KenPom gives Syracuse a 13% chance.
What do they have against Houston?
Houston, they've got a 17% chance. That's number 3.
Neutral site. So it plays about a 4-point difference.
The fourth toughest game on the schedule, interestingly enough, is NC State, just a fraction ahead of North Carolina. So that's the top 5 right there, the road game at North Carolina. And with that in mind, let's bring on the head coach of the Orange. Our first visit with him during the season, brought to you every week by Oswego County Mutual. Coach, how are you today?
Doing good. How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Good, Coach. I just realized you and I are very much the same age, and I did not know that. And Slick Rick is coming to Syracuse. Were you a Slick Rick fan?
Big Slick Rick fan. What got me to school every morning? My headphones, man, and my Walkman. Hey, young world.
we just played them. All right, good. So he is he's probably top 10 for me in rappers all time.
I like it. December 12th, in case you're free that night, Coach.
You want to go with me? I already asked Steve. He can't go. So
I can't go. I've got to work. I'm sure you probably have to work as well.
You want to hang out with me?
But Paulie's free, so Paulie's going to the concert.
Steve, you're missing out, man. You're missing out, Steve. Man.
Oh, I would love to go. It's a Friday night, so it's tough for me to get Friday nights off of work.
I get it.
All right, Coach. Let's jump into basketball, and obviously a very impressive start. You've gone out. You guys have taken care of business against Binghamton. You took care of business against Delaware State. What's stood out to you and the rest of your coaching staff from those first two games?
I thought our concentration and our effort was really consistent. We didn't have a lot of dips. I thought our effort and energy, level 5 energy, was more consistent than our 2 preseason games, and I thought that was the difference.
It's obviously very early. You're only 2 games in, but one thing that Paulie and I have been talking about on the show is that there are certain things that we feel like we already know about this team, and I want to get your thoughts. And one of those things is it looks like this team is much better defensively than we've seen even just the last handful of years. I mean, do you feel that way as well when you see it every day at practice, and we've obviously seen what the games look like? Are you ready to say, this team defensively is the best that you've had to this point?
I think ability-wise, yeah, but still a work in progress. But I like where we're at. We definitely have. It's probably the best defensive potential we've had. Since I've taken over. I thought my first year's team had that. I think we really needed that interior presence, which we lacked that towards the end of that year. But I think this team has those similar makeups of just the speed and the quickness and aggressiveness that you need to be a solid defensive team.
It's a perfect segue. I was going to ask you about William Kyle III, and you told us he was a really good player, and I think he's surprised a lot of us that he's not just a defensive player, but he's pretty skilled on the offensive end as well. He can finish around the basket, great in the pick and roll game. He's athletic. He gets up and down the floor. We've been very impressed by him. How much does he help what you guys are trying to do though on the defensive end? Obviously he had 6 blocks the other day.
I think it's extremely important as our younger perimeter guys continually try to get better, so that when we do have those drives, that we can protect the basket. So it's really important, especially early on. Hopefully we won't have to depend on him as much as we continue to get better and work on it, and just have him, kind of still protect the rim and guard his position a little bit more. But you got to have the way we want to play with the level 5 energy that we're talking about, and gassing out and giving it your all on that defensive end. You're going to need some people to be able to back you up, because on the perimeter, we're going to try to be more aggressive than we have in the past.
Coach, when you look at your defense, what is it that worries you right now? We've talked about it's got better potential. What do you guys think you need to work on?
I think just collectively the communication. I think that's the biggest thing, continuing to talk to each other. We call it chatter. We got to continually be more connected, more chatter, more talking to each other. I think that's the biggest thing. I think that'll help us out a lot, and we got to get better at that. We're not quite there yet with that. And then finishing possessions with rebounds.
And you've done this with JJ playing all of 3 minutes. Obviously, he left very early in that opener against Binghamton. Can you give us any sort of update in terms of how he's doing, when you expect him back? What's the latest on JJ?
He's still day-to-day. It's a possibility that he could, be back with us early as Saturday. But we expect him back soon. He's a leader. He's a senior leader of this team. He's the guy that really is bought into the level 5 energy. The effort, he's a guy that is one of the fastest. He's blessed with athletic ability, so we're just looking forward to getting him back and continually getting better as a unit and as a team.
With him out, we've seen Kyan Anthony get some extra minutes, and he certainly made the most of those extra minutes. He's been very impressive through these first 2 regular season games. What have you liked most, Coach, about the way he's playing and really the way he's just handled this situation in general?
Well, I think the one thing about Cayenne is that he understands that he, has room for development, and I love that about him. Very, very receptive to improving it in some areas that he's continuing to improve on. But he's a very confident young player. He's highly good IQ. He can make plays. He's not just a scorer. I think those are all good traits that you have to be successful. Confidence and good IQ and understanding and feel for the game on both sides of the ball. And that's what I like. But he knows he knows he needs to still improve, and he's very receptive to coaching.
Coach, JJ, we've only seen him for a couple minutes so far this season, but last year, was he in positions last year where he had to take more shots and tough shots? And will this year's team help him be more efficient on the offensive end?
Yeah, I thought last year, we needed JJ to do a lot, and he had to really, like you said, Paulie, he had to make some things happen for order us to kind of hang around and have a chance. We needed him to play that way. I think this year, with the other players that we have around, I think it will allow him to be more efficient. I think you'll be able to see more of his game really this year. His passing, his playmaking, not taking better shots. I think you'll see that all kind of come to fruition this year with this team.
Obviously, Coach, we talk for 2 hours every day, so we have to talk about everything, and we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So the topic has come up about free throw shooting and 3-point percentage to this point. I know it's only 2 games in. Just curious to get your thoughts on: are there any concerns from either of those 2 areas, or do you look at it as it's an outlier, it's a small sample size, and we'll be just fine in those areas?
I really focus on the type of shots that we're getting. And I think if we continually get the right shots and the best shots, we'll make them. But again, I said it from one of my press conferences and with this team. The offense will take care of itself if we get lost in the game and really worry about the other small things in the game. And I think all that will work itself out. We got really good shooters on this team. I'm not overly concerned. I think this team was put in a lot of work and was very excited and still is excited to play. In front of our home crowd. So there's some excitement there. So I think some of the free throws, you can chalk that up to some jitters, and I'm sure we'll make those. The 3-point shots, it's really about trying to see if we can get some more, create some more, and take a little bit more. And I think they will fall as well. The shot selection is really what I'm really more concerned about. And we've taken good shots.
Coach, you talk about the level 5 and, just playing as hard as you can for 40 minutes. There's a bunch of players on this team that probably aren't used to being on the bench. And, how has the buy-in been from guys like Sadiq White and Cayenne Anthony who are on the bench to start games?
I think when you play the way we want to play, you can't play you can't play for long periods of time. So we're all gonna, we all have made sacrifices. When we built this team, everyone knew we had to sacrifice. Next man up. We pulled together. We're going to be one of the most connected teams in the country. Win, lose, whatever it is, whatever the result is, we're a family. We're gonna stay together, and we spend a lot of time together. So, someone that's on the bench, he's in a fueling station, right? He's getting ready. He's getting ready to come in and give one of his brothers a rest, and then we just keep turning it like that. And that's our motto. That's our mindset.
Coach, let's turn our attention to the next opponent. You've got Drexel down in Philadelphia. Again, technically a neutral site game, but 5 miles from the Drexel campus. It happens to be in an arena, an NCAA tournament site this year. This Drexel team, I don't need to tell you this, they just made 15 threes the other night at Colgate, and they were down 19 at the half. They cut it to 2, put a scare in the Raiders down the stretch. What stands out to you from this Drexel team?
It's about the program. Drexel's a very good program. They've been a very good program and for a while, and a lot of it, you talk about this new transfer portal era. They probably lose 2 or 3 guys every year that transferred up to high majors at our level, Power 4 levels, and they all make an impact. So really good program, really good team, solid team. They will not be intimidated. They got some veterans, well coached, very good defensive team. So this will be, another challenge for us, and we're just looking forward to it.
You talk about the transfer portal era. It's also the net ranking era. How did you go about scheduling this game, and what did that play into it, and how you're playing all of your opponents so far?
Everything is different, so you have to get with the times, and we have an analytical team, and we sat down and we did like most schools. I think in the ACC most schools didn't do that. I think you see it this year. There's a method to everything. With everything being analytically driven, like you said, the net, and so those things are important. It's hard to make that tournament, and you can't make the tournament now just by the eye test. You have to have the analytics to back it up. So you got to put a pretty balanced schedule together, and then you got to go out and compete, and that's hard. It's easier said than done, and it's hard, but it's exciting, and that's what we did this summer.
I know the focus is on Drexel, as it should be. You got Drexel, then Monmouth, and of course, we're all looking forward to Vegas, and I'm sure to some degree you're excited about Vegas as well. But there's some business to take care of before then. Between now and then, Coach, what are you looking for out of your team? What would you like to see? The guys kind of shore up before you head out to Vegas to take on Houston.
To keep getting better, really, it's about our standard, and getting it to the standard that we want it to be, and and that was just the way we operate, the way we practice, the process. We talk about the process and do not focus on the results. So just getting more consistent in that and what we do inside this gym, and then going out and executing what we need to do. That's all that we're trying to do. It's not about the opponent. It doesn't matter who we play. It's not about the opponent. It's about us. And that's the focus, and that's the approach that we will have this whole year.
How do you keep your team from doing what my co-host just did and thinking about Houston already?
It's challenging. But this group right here, we're doing something together, and we're starting to see, a little bit of the effects of if we do this thing the way what we've been doing, we're starting to see the benefits of it. So we're just excited about each day. We stay in the day, stay in the moment. The future is the future. When we get there, we'll get there. And it's really just taking it one day at a time. Very cliche, very hard to do at times, especially in today's society. But we lock in every day. We punch it every day. We check. When we get here, it's about what we're doing today. So we prepare our guys, and we talk with our guys every day about what today holds.
And for our listeners, don't forget Adrian Autry show tonight over at the Wildcat Pizza Pub in Camillus. Coach, great start. Keep up the good work. Good luck on Saturday, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you guys later.
All right, Adrian Autry, brought to you every week by Oswego County Mutual. And with that, we'll hit a timeout. Full lines back open if you want to check in at 315-437-7644. We are back after this on ESPN Radio.
I think what they're doing, LA Orange, is they've got an easy schedule because they're planning on blowing those teams out like the SEC did last year, and you've got to beat your quad one games.
I think you got to have a mix of both, right? So
they've gone up in the Ken Palms already, even with what they've done.
You have the 3 games in Vegas. You've got the Tennessee game. You've got the whole month of February is essentially quad one games. So, you can't play those game in and game out. If they, again, as we said last year, if they win enough games, they'll be okay.
There's experts that did what they did for a reason. They're playing the number 1 team in the country in 2 games.
And again, a lot of teams are doing what they did, That's why everybody in the ACC outside of 3 teams are still undefeated.
Yeah, is that so far or overall? Because I find it hard to believe their schedule overall is the second easiest.
It's so far.
So far, yeah.
Yeah,
because it's absolutely nothing to worry about.
Yeah, it's because it's so far.
You all right?
Yeah. I wonder how they come up with, I'm just looking through KenPom, home court advantage. They have Syracuse listed as 106th in the country. I wonder how that is measured. Let's see. Oh. Values per game differences between home and road margin based on the last 60 home and road conference games. Let's see who has the. You want to guess who has the number one home court advantage in the country according to KenPom?
New Mexico. That was when we were kids.
The number one home court advantage, according to KenPom and their metrics, is West Virginia. TCU is second. Utah is third. The first ACC team is Wake Forest. You don't just go into Winston-Salem. Yeah.
Why can't I find a preseason strength of schedule? Like,
I do feel like Wake usually beats.
Oh, preseason strength of schedule for Syracuse 67.
Yeah, the strength of schedule's not.
Yeah, it's after 2 games. They're
It is at the moment.
Yeah, their non-conference schedule is 45.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to be fine.
Why did my headphones just
from
quit
a
on me?
Schedule perspective.
Okay, party people in the
Go
house.
old school again with Tim in the room. La-di-da-di.
Yes, it's the original human beatbox. Dougie for
Slick Rick.
And his partner, the great
Coach Autry was a big fan.
Yeah, he said he listened. He started singing "Hey Young World." I like to loosen up our guests. A little music talk.
I know you do.
And I know you hate it. Because
I don't hate it.
You think music is embarrassing.
I thought that was
everybody
appropriate.
hates it.
The whole Jodeci love song going into Andrea Adelson was just it was. I was a little uncomfortable with it, but it paid off
No, you're
well.
uncomfortable all the time. You say it more than just that time. You've been like, I don't know about this. We can't play the oboe songs.
I bet if I texted Andrea Adelson, hey, you want to come on the show tomorrow and just talk Jodeci for 15 minutes, she'd be in.
But we didn't know that at the time.
Now we know.
Now we know.
Do you remember when you were like, we can't do songs that feature the oboe because you were embarrassed by it?
Well, because I think we had Jim Boeheim on that day, and I thought that was
like Jim Boeheim hates the oboe?
It's an odd transition into the artist of the day, oboe songs. Here's Jim Boeheim. It's just an odd transition.
Do you know what he would have done? Absolutely nothing. Or he would have blamed it on me. He goes, what the hell are you talking about oboes for? What's Paulie doing over there?
That is true.
All right.
Today's business brought to you by Superior Plus Propane. You guys have 30 seconds to answer this question. Then we'll get to Paulie's kicker. We don't want to keep Matt Park waiting, but the MLB MVP is going to be announced tonight. Aaron Judge or Cal Raleigh. I think we've discussed this before. I don't know why the MLB pushes these, so it's almost like irrelevant now.
Yeah.
The season's been over for a while.
I think it's going to be...
It's like out of sight, out of mind.
I think it's going to be Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
But
the odds are tilting towards Judge.
It would be nice if Cal Raleigh got it, but I hate the whole, well, it's because he's a catcher. Like they give him special props because he's a catcher and whatnot.
Well, I think you do it. You have to take into account everything. And I think taking into account his position that I understand why they do it, but I think Judge is going to win it.
Yeah.
I only needed 10 seconds.
Well done, Steve.
I say Judge.
Yeah.
I'm with you guys. What about your kicker, Paulie? Did I allow enough time for you to find it?
Yes, here it is. Here is a retribution.
Can I say one thing? Aaron Judge, I just came across this stat. It's too good not to mention. He led the MLB in batting average, on-base percentage, slugging, OPS, and WAR. He's only the 6th player to be number 1 in the MLB in all of those categories since 1943. One of 6. He's winning the award. Go ahead. I used the rest of my 30.
Berks County, Pennsylvania, Dateline. A man was rushed to the hospital. This is payback for your killing of all the horses. Was rushed to the hospital after his dog accidentally shot him in the back. The dog jumped on the gun while he was cleaning it on his bed after he had set it down to leave the room, and he was shot from behind by his dog, Steve. You know, they have you work in the newsroom, man bites dog. This is dog shoots man.
Unfortunate story. Is he okay?
Yeah.
Yes. The 50-year-old man was cleaning. Yes.
He was hospitalized.
I did say he murdered him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been murder. I don't think it was premeditated.
He's in the.
I don't know. Maybe the dog didn't get the treats he liked.
He realized that his owner was breaking his treats in half and giving them to him, so he jumped on.
Dogs are smarter than you think.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe he didn't let him out in time. And he's a little mad.
Glad he's okay. All right. We did it. We got to the Matt Park segment on time. Voice of the Orange joins us next on ESPN Radio.
Thinks it's funny that if Indy shot me, not enough rubby roos. Good point. Yes, cleaned a loaded gun. That's a weird thing too. Yeah, we've gotten into by Big Poppy. We've gotten into the whole shooting each other with BB guns before. That's something Steve hasn't lived through.
How long did we go with Autry?
Clock? Probably see 12 minutes. Yeah, Big Poppy, that's a story Steve could not get his head around, that you would accidentally, you didn't even say accidentally, that you would shoot your friend with a BB gun.
No.
And then blame it on the cat, which is hysterical. Yeah, I always saw that, like, lawn darts got banned. Like, who was standing under them? Or who was just throwing them like missiles? I wasn't about to be out there trying to, hey, like, I wouldn't be trying to catch lawn darts. Oh, do you have those, Kevin? Those things are banned. Kevin's a criminal. He just admitted to a crime on in the chat. Did I ever have a shot? No. A shoplifting phase? No. I was never a criminal. I stole my parents' car, but that's not really stealing. I was terrified of my parents, too. Like, I think if I broke the law, they would have beat me silly. Have I ever been on probation? No. No, I have not. Have I ever been on probation? I don't know why that's so funny. Have you ever been on probation? No, I have not. Shockingly, no. Did I play Hey Young World already?
I don't think so.
Who cares? A children's story. Slick Rick.
I would have played that one last, but
I know. Did I play Hey Young World already, or was just Coach Autry singing it what I thought of? I don't remember. I don't remember.
I wasn't paying attention to that.
We found out that Coach Autry is a big Slick Rick fan. Is Matt Park a big Slick Rick fan?
Hello?
Yeah, are you a big Slick Rick fan?
I don't know that I would know much of the Slick Rick catalog. I guess I'm not not a fan, but you know me and music, just a little bit here and there from everybody.
Well, if you want to go with Coach Autry and I to the concert.
And Tim's in.
I'm busy
Friday, December 12th.
Yep.
Check your calendar. Why don't we get the football stuff out of the way before we get into basketball? How would you handle this quarterback situation for the last two games?
Probably Ricky Collins, just as my regular guy. Just let it go. The best of not great options. I don't think any of them have a future here necessarily. So try to put the one that frame up the rest of the game for somebody else to succeed. If you like Luke Carney, you want to play him in the BC game, go for it. I want to give Joe Filardi a shot. I think it's great, but none of those guys have shown enough that you can feel super confident in them. I think the Collins has the highest ceiling, at least in terms of what they can exhibit this month, right? I mean, maybe the one of those two other guys is better in the very long haul. But I know you guys you probably asked this, is next year's backup quarterback on the team right now? I don't think so.
Yeah. How about the importance of this game against BC? I know they got to play Notre Dame first, but somebody called us the other day and said, does this game matter? Does the BC game matter? How do you address that? I mean, obviously the win-loss total is what it is this year, whether they beat BC or not. Is there something to be said, though, for sending the seniors out with a win and momentum for the returning players as they head into the offseason, or do you not really subscribe to, that whole momentum piece of it?
I don't know how much momentum it would be, other than you don't have quite the unsightly, whatever that would be, 8-game losing streak. Every game matters, some more than others. There's always something on the line. I think they can and will and should beat BC, and it'd be a bad look not to. The perception of BC is that they're so down in football and basketball both that losing them at home looks like a real stain on what you're doing. That being said, the big elephant in the room here, of course, is how representative are you of anything with the quarterback situation such as it is right now. So there's absolutely something to play for. easy for me to say it's not that big a deal, but people who have put on the uniform and do the bleeding and the sweating and all that, they really do think of that win it for the seniors. They are motivated by that. They want the seniors to leave with a better taste in their mouth than losing to BC or a long season-ending losing streak would be. So always something to play for. The games all mean something when it comes down to it.
You know, BC has come up a couple times in our chat about where they are sports-wise, you know, in the ACC. Do you think it's a product of being in an ACC, or is it, you know, small fish in a big pond? With NFL, everything else going on in a big city, it's just hard to get players to come there.
They're the fish?
Yes.
The pond is the conference or the city?
The city.
Well, that explains why they get no media coverage. BC is unique in that way in the ACC. They're in a major city. They're in a pro sports town. You know, Boston is strange because people do like college sports there. There's a lot of college sports, right? The Bean Pot's a huge deal. They pay attention to Colby and Bates and Amherst and all of that. But it's not in the Boston Globe. Nobody really pays attention to it on talk radio or any of the other stuff. It's just kind of at the grassroots consumer level. So BC does not have any sort of media foothold. They have no free advertising that comes from just being discussed like that. That's one of the disadvantages that they have. But it's obviously an exceptional school. There's a lot of people from here that make their way to Boston College for one reason or another. There's a couple sports that they're good at, hockey and women's lacrosse, and they're having a tough go in the rest of them. You know, when they first started going to the ACC in football, they had Matt Ryan, and they were in the ACC championship 2 years in a row, right? It's hard for them to replicate that. They have an excellent coach in Bill O'Brien. He's the first to admit that it hasn't gone very well, and maybe there are better days ahead. Syracuse has to take advantage. They recruit a lot of the same types of players, and you got to be better than BC if you're Syracuse. Bottom line.
All right, let's switch gears. Let's talk hoops now. And, you know, we've seen Autry and Autry's squad go out there and do what they were supposed to do, right, against Binghamton and Delaware State. Have you seen enough, Matt, that, you know, you're maybe even more encouraged through these two games than you were, you know, prior to the season starting? Or is it one of those that everybody needs to pump the brakes and wait until Vegas comes and see what they look like against top-notch competition?
Well, I think that's always the way it was going to be. I think you're going to know more about your team coming out of that stretch here in a couple of weeks than Binghamton or Delaware State are going to reveal. We've talked about it before. The way the schedule is set up, there's a number of games where you're going to be a big favorite, and you've got to deliver on that. You've got to win by 20 plus. And I think they will. I think they've demonstrated that so far. I'm not really surprised by anything we've seen so far. They've played a couple of, 300 plus net teams, and they've knocked them around, and they've dominated physically and athletically and shut them down on the defensive end. If the other team you're playing makes 1 3-pointer, you're probably going to beat them, and beat them by a lot in today's game. So I'm encouraged by what I've seen, but I think it's on par with what we thought this was going to be on paper and just how everything lined up. I think once you see them against Houston and Kansas and that third game in Vegas and Tennessee, and I know we'll be talking throughout all of that, then you're going to have a much more representative picture.
From an individual perspective, has there been anybody who surprised you with, like, man, this kid's better than I thought? Is it Cayenne? Is it William Kyle, Nathan George? I mean, we obviously knew, JJ and Donnie. We haven't seen JJ other than 3 minutes in the regular season opener. But is there anyone that's truly kind of opened your eyes through the first couple of games?
Yeah, a couple. I mean, I would just say we know going in this year the approach was to be better athletically. And they have been. And then in what ways does that show up? Right, so William Kyle and Sadiq White, that's how it shows up. Kyle, and by Cayenne obviously fits in your category there, but I don't think what he's doing is jaw-dropping or, oh my gosh, I never could have possibly seen this coming. I think you knew of his maturity and polish coming in, and maybe has exceeded expectations a little bit in that he hasn't seemed to have had yet a freshman moment. But maybe that comes. Maybe there's a lull somewhere, maybe not, So I think Cayenne you set aside, and there's a lot of reason to be excited about him. To answer your question, let's put the spotlight on William Kyle for a second. I remember thinking, whether I said it on the air or not, during maybe the Binghamton game, it's like, I think this is off the air, but we'll say it now. I turned to Eric and I said, Mick Cronin couldn't find a way to use this guy. 6'9" and jumps out of the gym. You got no use for that, or no way to put them in position to thrive. He makes it look easy, right? He scores at the rim, and he protects the rim on the defensive end. So I think he's exciting in that he's an element that we haven't seen around here in a minute. And, is he going to be the greatest center of all time? I think it's pretty far-fetched to say that 2 games into the season, but I am excited to see where it goes, and just the athleticism of this team is right now the calling card, and it was meant to be, and let's see how it plays out, but it's fun to watch so far.
Are you worried about Nate King's shooting? I've seen him in warm-ups and a couple times in practice where he doesn't miss, but that's not translating to games so far, 2 games.
No, the only thing I would say is, we talk a lot about Chris Bell, right, the last couple of years. And it's funny sometimes that it seemed to me that it was missed by fans or the talk show callers or post-game show people, but there were a lot of plays and a lot of shots created for Chris Bell. And he didn't sometimes pull the trigger, and he didn't always make them, but he was a spectacular open gym, shooter, jaw-dropping to watch him, shoot, and certainly his ability and form were there. So if Kings has had the stats that he's had and those results, you'd think he'd be at least as good if you can get him those same types of shots. So that's what I'm watching for. How many legitimate open looks can they create, whether it's by scheme or running the tempo that they do, or getting an open floor based on turnovers and that type of thing. Way too early right now to pronounce him as a non-competitor or slumping or any of that. Now, 44% is a lot to expect. There's a reason that only a couple people do that in the country in the entire season. So I think that's a little bit high of a bar. But can we get 38? Can we get 40? I think he probably can get there. I'm not counting him out yet.
There's been this groundswell of Cayenne needs more minutes. And, when JJ comes back, he's going to chew up JJ's minutes. Is Nate King's the more likely recipient of that? If Cayenne's getting more minutes when JJ comes back, isn't it more likely that it's going to be at that position than it would be necessarily at JJ's spot?
Yeah, I would think so. I would think if it's up to me, I'd be more likely to have George, Starling, Anthony on the floor than George, Starling, and Kings, and Anthony on the bench. Again, just based on what we've seen so far. But I think if you heard what Red just said and what he's been trying to preach and execute from the jump is, look, we're just going to keep it rotating. Go out there, and he's using the expression gassed out now. Go out there, give it everything you got till you're running on fumes. Then we're going to take you out. We're going to put somebody else in, and we'll keep rotating. We'll keep subbing. So I think it's going to be fluid. The Starling thing is, yes, when he's healthy, he starts. I don't think there's any way around that. But I think they have enough other options that JJ's going to have to come back and perform. I think, and I'm not trying to put more pressure on him in an undue way, but he's got to come back and be representative of JJ at his best, because there are other options and time is a wasting, and you got to figure out what you're going to do and what your rotation and lineup's going to be against these challenging teams and that part of the schedule coming up. So I hope JJ's back sooner than later, and this team can kind of be more what they're trying to be. But I don't see Starling coming off the bench.
Matt, we're in Philly. I can't remember the last time we were there.
Been a while.
People in chat want to know where you go for cheesesteaks.
I'm not picky. I'll do any of the above. You know, I heard you talking about earlier in the week, the Pats and Genos and the rivalry. They're across the street from one another. One chops up the meat, the other does not. That's the I couldn't tell you which is which, but that's the delineation. But those are the more touristy ones. So I think you go to some of these others, Tony Luke's and Jim's and those types of places. But we can go for a ride, Paulie, if you want. You know what we're next?
We have already done the get both of them.
I think we did
from
both
across
the same day, right?
Yeah, that was gluttony.
I wonder why I'm fat. But here's the other suggestion, though. I believe we're close. I already looked it up to the Reading Terminal Market. So that's a walk to that, and there's a lot of cool stuff in there. So that was kind of my plan for Friday night, but willing to adjust.
All right, and I don't mean to throw shade at my co-host, but did you hear how he gets his?
Just without onions or something.
With no cheese or onions, it's just meat and bread.
Just that's a steak sandwich.
Yeah,
it's meat and bread.
Really,
it's steak. It's a steak sandwich.
Yeah, just some eating habits that are really hard to follow there with Steve, but that's why he's skinny. Can I come up with? I had a joke too. I wanted to share. I work on these really hard when I listen. You know, all week I'm a listener, and then I come on for 5 minutes.
We thank
on
you.
Thursday. I should. You mentioned Slick Rick, Paulie. I had Ricky in my mind. You always talk about your no hitter gets lost. It's because you turn every hitter in the lineup into Ricky Henderson, like the best leadoff hitter known to man. You're not getting out of the first inning with a no hitter most of the time.
Yeah, I tried to get him to go after you for once, and he just said, "All right, I got Steve. Now I got to get Paulie."
It's only
well, you're an easy target.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you.
Small strike zone, but easy target.
Adrian Autry show. Adrian Autry show tonight at the Wildcat in Camillus. Yes.
Yeah, maybe I'll have a cheesesteak out there. I'm sure
there you go.
They make a run at one.
All right. Matt Park joining us here on the show as he does every Thursday at 1:30. We'll take our final time out. We'll wrap things up next on ESPN Radio.
Shout out to Dan. He invited me to dinner in Philly after the game, so I might join him. Matt is frozen on my screen right now, and I'm going to have nightmares. I think tomorrow's a no-brainer too, Steve.
What do you got?
I'll tell you on air.
Me and Mario, though, right? You're not here?
Oh, yeah. Maybe just do regular bumps when I'm not here. I don't want to make Tim have to freaking... But you're going to be mad.
Why am I going to be mad?
Because you're going to want this as the artist of the day.
Well, just don't tell me. I'll never know.
I'm going to tell you. It's a historical moment. Oh, no, it wasn't. It would have been today.
If Tim's going to be in here running the board, why doesn't he just do the show?
You can't just make the kid work all done.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know if he wanted to. I didn't know if he felt...
No, like, I don't want to, like... Then he blows all of his thoughts.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
I'll find someone easy that's in the system that he can just pull up out of... Ooh, couple good rock, modern rock bands. Oh, one of Scooter's favorites.
Ryan Mesh. Ryan Mesh will be a freshman next year at Siena. Isn't he in his last year at
Who won the St. Bonnie's game? Fire Jerry?
Bonnie's won by 8 or 9.
Fire Jerry.
It was a close game, and the Doty kid played great. He had a career high. He had 25, I think. 8 rebounds.
There's a lot of ones.
He's a really good player.
There's a lot of bands that are in our system that we can choose from for tomorrow. Well, you don't want him to come out and wait, like come and just keep repeating himself, do you? And he's got shit to do. He's got like promos to get up and tweets to get out.
But I'm saying he's going to be in here anyway. That was my point.
Why do you hate Mario?
I don't. I just feel I don't want him to think we're like taking advantage of him.
No, it's his job. I think it's more taking advantage of him by making him do 2 shows than it is. Matt brought up something about Chris Bell, Philly, that also Chris Bell turned down so many open shots. Like they
Second half of last year, he got like 10.
Yeah, like he had a wide open shot to beat Virginia Tech, and he passed it up. And it was.
Yeah, I think he was in his head, reading social media, etc.
And he just brought nothing else but that. He could knock down a shot every once in a while, 40% of the time.
Yeah. They do got to run some plays for Kings. I think that would be a goal maybe early on in this Drexel game. I mean, I guess they have gotten a good look.
I got him hitting 4.
Yeah.
Match.
It's like if he hits the first one, he's going to hit 3 or 4.
Why is this one keep playing? There goes my no-hitter. Hey, young world. This is the one Coach Autry was singing, Steve.
Yeah, you didn't play this.
This is a good one. This is a low-key good one. Coach Autry went deep cut.
Shows he's a true fan.
Yes. Like Tim Leonard and I, who are going to the concert, and you're not.
I'll see what I can do, okay?
If you put in your time off notice now, aren't you the boss over there?
I am, but of the sports department, but it's a Friday Night Fever. It might even be the first Friday Night Fever for basketball. So
Tell me you've got a fever.
That's kind of frowned upon.
For Slick Rick.
Say it just like that.
Yeah. Yes.
Should I be regretting that I signed up for this?
Absolutely.
This is a Friday night, a free Friday night for me for
With
once.
me.
And I'm going to be spending it with you, Paulie.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'll see how much the VIP.
I was counting on you, Steve.
I'll see how much the VIP package will be. Maybe we can get a meet and greet with the old Slicker.
The Slicker.
Slick Rick. He had a nickname, but I can't
Rick
think.
the Ruler.
Rick the Ruler, yeah.
Yeah, what did you
Ricky
tell me
D.
to call him yesterday?
The Ruler.
The Ruler? Yeah. I'll
We
have
need
to
he had
look
a
into
nickname. Other than that, you're saying?
Yeah. Ricky D. He had a lot of them.
All right. You are not going to be here tomorrow.
So here's your choices. I'm going for bands that I know we have a ton of songs in our system, and he can just export them out. All right.
Okay.
Papa Roach, Blink 182.
Like this is just random. There's no reason for these tomorrow? Or you're saying
artist birthday.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's the same way I get them.
Okay.
Matchbox 20.
Doesn't Mario love Blink 182? Didn't
Bon
we have this
Jovi.
conversation?
I don't know. Does
Bon
he?
Jovi Sticks. Who cares what Mario thinks?
Well, I think we already gave him Blink 182 once
Okay, so
as
then-
artist of the day.
So there you go. You got Sticks, Bon Jovi,
Man.
Matchbox
20, Blink 182, Papa Roach. I don't want to vote. I don't want to. Overdummy. I don't want to.
So you think we already did Blink for
I'm
him?
very confident about that.
Okay.
Yeah, because he
'Cause I was
told
gonna-
us.
I was
Remember, he
gonna
told his
text him.
story about going to
You're
a
right. A concert with his buddy's girlfriend or something.
Yes,
Is that what it
yeah.
was? Yeah, right.
Man, what is it with you two taking other people's girlfriends' places? Not a
It was
good,
one time.
Not a good. group
Mario
of people.
did tell me he wanted me to book the Drexel coach Spiker just so that he could ask him, did Steve hang out with you? Did he go out at night? Did he meet any ladies late night in college.
What happens in the locker room stays in the locker room.
Yeah. So Zach was a year younger than me. He's a great guy, by the way, and a great coach. I'm so happy that he's having so much success there. All right, so we got to pick. I guess I'll go Bon Jovi. I think of those, that's the one that I would enjoy the most. I use that loosely. Tim, do you have
How do you not
thoughts?
enjoy Bon Jovi?
I mean, they're fine. It's just...
Matchbox
I'm fine.
20 was my pick.
Okay.
I do like Bon Jovi,
so
too.
we'll leave it up to the chat.
I'll
then.
go. I don't get a vote? No, you're
Well,
just
you're not
taking
going to be here, but
I'm
okay.
going Bon Jovi.
Okay.
There you
so
go.
There you
Well,
go.
how you guys
Problem
agree?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm making this easy on Tim, so there's just
Thank
seven.
you.
There's probably 40 Bon Jovi songs
Good.
in the
There you go.
system, and you can just
I
find
want to make it easy on Tim as well.
what I'm doing.
All right.
No me tomorrow. Thank God. I need a trip. I might go just eat a cheesesteak at every place tomorrow. Everyone that Matt said. I'll get there around 2.
Cheesesteak review.
Yeah.
You're not even going to go out with him. You're not even going to do anything.
No, I'm
that
not.
night.
No, you're not.
No, I will tomorrow because I'm going early. Yeah, I will go with Matt to do that.
Remind me,
Yes.
Tim, to ask Matt next week.
No,
if
I
he
will
did.
out there because it's not like a dinner where we're going to sit. We're going to go somewhere, grab something quick, and go home. It's not
Okay. All right. So he's on the clock. When,
Yeah, like we literally went to both cheesesteaks places and ate 2 cheesesteaks. I think the last time we were there, it was really gluttonous.
Anything you want to tell us about the show tonight, Tim?
Chris Brown, Bills play-by-play man, will be on at 5:15, and I'll be giving you a full scouting report on Coach Spiker's Drexel team.
All right.
Yes.
Sounds good. We're out of time.
It's the show that everybody loves to hate.
I don't know if anyone hates it yet. They haven't told me that to my face.
It's all over social.
Who do you attribute that quote to?
Right.
Social
Can't
media.
make things up, Paulie.
People.
The people.
I just said the people love to hate.
Right.
So I attribute it to the people.
All right. We got to go. For Tim, for Paulie, I'm Steve. Enjoy the rest of the day, everybody. We're back at it noon tomorrow.